Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'd like to show you an interview we did with the xDynamics team a few weeks ago while we were at CES out in Las Vegas. Now we were lucky enough to get some time with a gentleman named Maury Covington Jr. who's been deeply involved in the project from the very beginning on the engineering and the marketing side, and he spent a lot of time with us and gave us a lot of great details about what plans they have ahead for this new Evolve platform they're releasing. Now we've been lucky as well that we got a pre-production version of this a couple of months ago, and I've been out flying this thing like crazy, comparing it to other drones that I fly, trying to understand the engineering behind it. The nerd in me just fell in love with this thing the first time I opened up the box because there's so many things about it that make it different than the typical drone that's on the market that I can't wait to get into. Now the good news is we just got our hands on the production version of this. So you announced it at the show, we got a unit shipped to us, and I can't wait to start posting clips and showing you what's different about this particular product compared to all the other stuff on the market, because the company that builds this, the team at xDynamics, are not just engineers that are building something to be cool, they're flyers like we are. So they spend a lot of time thinking about what would they want in a drone? How could they design it differently or better than the products that are on the market today? And every little aspect of this thing, from the carbon fiber frame to the removable camera to the dual screen remote, are things that naturally drone lovers are going to fall in love with and really stand out from the crowd, because today this drone market space is exploding, and you really have two camps of design. You have the large companies like DJI, Autel, Unique, Parrot, those guys, where they have thousands of engineers that are working on tiny little aspects of the project. And as an engineer, you're handed some specifications and you go off and you design a circuit that does what you're told to do. You don't really have a lot of control over the final product, and a lot of those teams don't even talk to each other. In the other camp, you've got the clone companies where they realize there's a market there and they'll go out and buy an electronic speed control from one company, a motor from another one, have a battery from this guy, and they put together a Frankenstein project and then turn that out to the street. They're not flyers either, so they don't really build the product to meet the needs of flyers out there and make it a cool product to fly. These guys are kind of a blend of both of those. They're smart enough in the engineering space. They've got a ton of nerds working there. Actually, Maury's a pretty big nerd. I probably shouldn't have said that, but they're talking through the technology, and I'll hit them with hard questions and they'll answer them. They don't say, well, we can't talk about that, or I don't have an answer for that. Like, you can tell the people that work on this really, really love this product. So I'm blown away by them, and I'm also a fan of the underdog. So when a new company steps up and says, we're going to come at that market hard, we're going to build a brand new product that rivals some of the bigger companies that are out there, I'm all in. I want to know more about that company. So where this product fits, and you'll hear about it in the interview, is somewhere between like a Phantom level product and an Inspire level product. So they're not looking to build these things in volume and blow them out, and sell thousands and thousands of units a month. What they're looking to do is build a product that the drone flyers that really are passionate about the hobby will understand the differences that they provide and are willing to pay for that product and actually fly that product because it's different and it's a little bit better than a lot of the stuff that's out there. So we'll get into all that in the interview. But for me, watch the channel. If you're at all interested in this technology, you want to hear about what's coming with this, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to have a ton of clips coming out where I actually show you all the aspects of what makes this thing different and then compare it to a lot of the products that are on the market. But more than that, this may be the first drone that we actually sell as a company. We've never done that before. We sell a lot of accessories on our website. We've had options to sell other companies' drones, but we're really considering whether we should list this on our website and actually become a distributor for the product. So in addition to you watching this interview and understanding what's going on with the company, I would love your thoughts on, is that a good idea for us or a bad idea for us? Because we love flying. And this has become a very big family of Drone Valley people that watch the channel and interact with us on a regular basis. Made a lot of friends through the years, and I really value your opinion. So drop those in the comments below and let us know if you think it's a good thing for us to get involved in it or not, because we're really on the fence of talking to these guys and really wanting to support this company. We really feel like they're building just an incredibly cool product, and some of the stuff I've seen that's coming with the FLIR adapters and all the other things they're building for the front of this thing, I feel like you've got this extensible platform that you could fly for years and constantly upgrade over time. But anyway, I'm rambling on too much about it. Let me get into the interview. If you have any questions at all about this product or anything we've covered, drop them in the comments below. I promise to get back to you as quickly as I can. And again, I love putting these clips together, so hopefully you guys are enjoying them. So stay tuned. Here comes the interview. Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. I'm here at the xDynamics booth with Maury Covington Jr. Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
I pulled a fast one on you there. So we're going to talk about the xDynamics drone, the Evolve product. We've been fans of this tech for a while. I've been reviewing it on the channel, you guys know, and I really love the engineering behind this company. So let's talk a little bit about the drone's design. Now you have a fiber carbon frame.
Yes.
And what I love so much about your company is that you guys they're engineers at heart, and you do a lot of the engineering yourself, all of the engineering yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't just buy products off the shelf and slap them together inside of a frame. You've actually designed the frame out of carbon fiber to be 10 times stronger than plastic?
50.
50 times stronger than plastic. Yeah. I should have known that, sorry.
No,
hand wound motors. And the telemetry is handled by a company out of Israel, I think, right? It's an exotic technology used for a lot of the broadcasts.
So Red Camera, Alexa, all the big major productions use MMON's technology, which is the video transmission wirelessly. So we have the smallest form of their technology inside the drone, so you're getting the lowest latency for video possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And what I love so much about the tech too, and this is one of the complaints I've got a lot of the drone companies, is that when they build a drone, you're stuck with whatever they build. So when they slap a camera on the front, it's glued to the box, and in a year or two the camera technology changes, or maybe I want to have a infrared or FLIR or something along those lines.
Yeah.
You guys have a removable gimbal assembly on this where I can slap a bunch of different cameras on. When it was first released, the unit I have to test is a 1/2.3 sensor,
yes,
which is standard for the industry, but the video quality is astounding on that. You've done some magic in the programming to make the movements of the camera smoother and slower. A lot of other drone companies, I've got to get into their settings and make all those adjustments myself. So I like that it comes out of the box with very buttery smooth movements.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, you've got other camera varieties that you can put on there, variations. So you've got a 4/3 sensor.
4/3 sensor.
Right.
Also, we worked with the FLIR camera, so a lot of people have this FLIR VU.
Right.
What they do now is hard mount it to the back of a drone. So we thought, we don't
no
want
stabilization. You're
no
just gonna bolt it,
stabilization,
right? And it's shaking all over.
And every time you move to a new platform, if you want to try something new, you're stuck paying. I mean, that's almost $3,000 for the camera.
Right.
So what we did was we created a really affordable gimbal. Price is just a few $100s, and now you can, instead of buying a new camera, that's our olive branch to the people who already have this camera.
Sure.
You can slap it right on, and you're ready to go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't own a FLIR because they're really expensive, but I imagine if I did, and knowing that you guys have developed a stable gimbal for that has the right plate on it where I can mount that camera on it, now gives me the option to use my camera, or if I don't have one, maybe buy your camera and put it in the drone as well.
Absolutely,
I think that's
yeah.
wonderful. And I also think that down the road, I love the extensibility of the platform because there may be other camera technologies coming out or other sensing technologies that you'll want to put on that quad.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Now the other thing that was really impressive was the remote. You guys last year at the show were very proud of the fact that you've got a dual screen remote. It was the first one I'd ever seen. I think it was an industry first as well.
Yeah, so we basically eliminated the phone.
Right.
A lot of your connectivity issues are because of the phone.
Yeah.
So we just, big 7-inch display,
Yep.
1080p 60,
Yep.
also outputs 1080p 60.
Right, HDMI.
So HDMI, separate monitor for the director or someone,
sure.
because this is built for cinematography.
Right.
So like you said, the dampening, everything is tuned. A lot of times you'll see a gimbal, when you pitch down, it just kind of lands.
Yeah.
So ours is built to just feather in.
Right.
And that was our approach with your standard mode.
I did notice that when I was with it compared to a lot of other drones. They tend to be very, I guess the term I'll use is digital, where they're very choppy when they turn. Yours
Yeah.
is more of an analog, I sound like a nerd here, but more
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
analog move where it's much smoother. There's much more fluidity to
It's
it, I guess is the term.
a big priority of ours is to
Okay.
create that experience.
And that's all about the tuning
Yeah.
and understanding how the motors are wound and the technology with ESCs and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic tech. But I'll tell you, with that remote, what I love so much about it, and there was a big announcement today from one of the other guys about an integrated remote. I think that's the way everybody's going to be heading.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're ahead of the curve with having a dual remote where I can look at my telemetry down the bottom, have my field of view up top, so I can look up and see what's going on, I can look down and see where I'm flying, I think is tremendously cool. And you have editing on there too, right? I interrupted you, sorry.
Yes, photo editing, similar to an Instagram or something
Right.
like that. And also you can pair your phone to this ground station. So to Facebook live stream.
Wow, okay, I
YouTube.
forgot to mention that, you're right,
Yeah,
that is
so
amazing.
instead of landing your drone, pulling out the SD card, putting in the, you can be up in the air, pair your phone, get on your Instagram account, your Facebook
Sweet.
account,
Right from there,
upload
right from the field, right?
while you're still in the air.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. I know a lot of YouTubers are starting to do that. A lot of drone pilots like to do that. I think that's also incredibly important. I don't know how much you're thinking about the rescue operations or first responders, but I get a lot of questions on my channel from guys that are out there as firefighters or rescue guys saying, hey, I want to put it up, but I need a way to show the command center what's going on, right? And having the HDMI connection on it allows them to put it on a big screen, maybe in the
You could
the
even
command
live
center.
stream it
Yeah.
privately,
Right.
to someone who has,
That's incredible. Really cool stuff. All right, so I love the drone a lot. I know it's on sale now. It's available. It's a wonderful product. Again, I've got the latest version of it because I know you made some tweaks to it.
Yeah.
And again, that's a nice thing about the company is they're not slapping it together, throwing it out there, and then hoping for the best. You guys have really spent a lot of time tweaking it and adjusting it and all the rest of that. So I can't wait to get this thing up in the air. I've been playing with it a little bit already, but I don't want to just make a snap judgment on it. But I'll spend a lot of time with it once we get back from CES.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool drone. Not to mention how cool it looks when it's sitting there and when it's flying. It just has that sort of attack bird kind of approach to it. It just looks so cool leaning down like that.
Yeah.
And it gives a great angle on the camera too, because it's always sort of giving that perspective down.
Yeah, and we raise the props up so that you have more, you can tilt up higher. So
Right.
that angle when you pitch up
Right.
is a little more than if the props were in line.
I'm getting super nerdy here, but raising that up seems like, oh, we'll just put them up there closer to the motors and get the motors above it. But
Yeah.
the reference between that, the relationship between that and the
Yeah.
main board, you've got to make adjustments in the engineering for that.
It's
because
pretty challenging.
Yeah, it is. It's not a small feat.
But I think it's worth it for the end result.
Right.
And also, you know, what you're getting here is an experience. You know, this is the Tesla experience versus the Camry.
That's a great analogy to
We're
use.
going to be lower volume, and,
Right.
and we're okay with that, but we're creating a premium product.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we need in the industry. And I'm not going to pick on any particular company, but I'm wandering around this hall, and there's 60 drone companies. And honestly, you guys are building a drone that is different than the others in a lot of ways. And when people ask me what drone should they go with, it's hard for me to say sometimes because they're so similar. What really separates this from the pack and what I like about it is that it's built by guys that fly. Engineers like me and nerds like you that, no offense, that love this kind of technology and really understand what it's all about. So you're flyers yourself and you're building a drone that you would like to fly. So
Absolutely.
you're almost in a lot of ways a drone flyer's drone flyer, right?
Yeah.
Putting that together.
Absolutely.
Excellent product, very, very good. All right, well that's all I had for today. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. We'll get back to you as quick as we can. I'm in contact with these guys, so I can ask them anything you want to ask me. They're not afraid to answer the questions, which is pretty unusual for this industry. So
Feel free to
thanks
reach
very
out.
much.
Yeah.
You bet. All right, well good talking to you.
you,
Thanks
Rick.
again. See you
Appreciate
guys
it.
soon. You betcha.